Good evening. This Christmas is a strange Christmas. We are in the midst of a pandemic. It is still 2020. And there are some out there who are wondering, what is left to happen to us? And there are others out there hoping and praying that nothing else will happen to us. And if you're like me, this Christmas is not like other Christmases. You can't spend it with all the family and friends you want to. You can't come to church if you want to. You can't have communion if you want to, and neither can I. But even in the midst of the pain and the insanity of the long days and the new normal, we still have a hope that is offered to us. Now, we don't have to take it. We never have to take it. You and I, we have the free will to choose what we want to think about and to choose what we want to see in the world. And you and I have the option to look with hope. Not because our political situation might get better, not because the vaccine is on the way, though these are nice things to hope for, and they're good things to hope for. And between you and me, I hope for them. But we have a hope in Jesus that is apart from all of these things. Because, when he lived and walked and talked, when he preached and taught, when he fed multitudes and performed miracles and exorcised people of demons and healed the sick and raised the dead, when he walked on this earth, there was famine and there was plague. There were tyrants. I remind myself daily that Jesus had to deal with Caesar. There was political unrest. There was uncertainty. There were shortened lifespans. And normal people like you and I worried. And Jesus came to give us hope. And Jesus didn't overthrow Caesar, though some of his followers hoped he would. And Jesus didn't heal the whole world of every illness, just the people who showed up right in front of his face. But what he offered his followers and all those who heard him, and all those who heard stories about him but couldn't be with him personally, and what he offered all the people who have heard this story over and over again for the last 2,000 millennia, 2,000 years. 2,000 millennia would be different. What he offered them and what he offers us is a different kind of hope for a different kind of thing that is not less powerful than the hopes that we have in this world for a peaceful transition of power, the hopes we have in this world for an end to the pandemic, the hopes that we have in this world for steady jobs and good income. He gives us a hope that is not less, but even more. Because have you noticed that even when the politician you favor is in power, you're still not happy all the time? And have you noticed that even when you have the job of your dreams, after a while, you're still not happy all the time? And even when everything seems to be going your way, you're still not happy all the time. And I would say that's because underneath all of these surface things, which matter, it matters if we have income, it matters if we have a home, it matters that we live in safety and peace. It matters that we don't die of plague. It matters. And also, underneath all of these things, there is a space inside of us that can only be filled with God. Some people call it the God-shaped hole. I'm not sure it's a hole. It's kind of an odd metaphor. I think that we are the God-shaped hole. I think that you and I are actually made to be in perfect and beautiful, and if you combine those two words, it's beautiful, in perfect and beautiful relationship with God all the time. And that is what brings lasting joy. That is what keeps us calm in emergencies. That is the light that we can share with other people. And that is difficult to attain, except that Jesus came and made it easy for us. Jesus came as a child in a manger and gave us the keys to heaven. He gave us the keys to understanding how to be in a good and right and holy and beautiful and perfect relationship with God. How do we do it? I bet you can guess. He said it more than once. And it filtered into every single thing he taught and every single thing he preached and every way he interacted with other people that we have on record in the Gospels. He said you need to learn how to love yourself and you have to practice how to love your neighbor. And when you do so, you end up loving God. And that is the hope of Christmas. That we can come to that place where loving God is easy and natural and normal. It is the normal response to a situation. It is the normal response to tragedy. It is the normal response to every part of life, every difficult part of life, and every lovely part of life. It is what is normal. And that is the hope of Christmas. That you and I can begin choosing that more and more and more. Because it's not easy. If it were easy, we'd all be doing it already. We've had 2,000 years to think about it. But it's still the hope of Christmas. It's still the light that burns in each one of these candles, the light that burns inside of your heart, that shines out in your face and in your words and in your actions. The light that brings joy to other people, the light that brings relief to other people, the light that brings sanity to other people's lives. That is the light of Christ. Amen. Cut. You gonna come cut? You could. I mean, if you wanted to, you could. That's all right. You were also the starter. But if you wanted, you could be the cut. We're recording.